Turn up. That is up. Mr. Timmy Allen. Yeah. Let me just bring up so I can see myself again to make sure I'm still in shot. Even though the camera is right there. I told you that... What did I tell you? Just imagine in 5 years, no more render time, instant effects. And then you said, could there be such a lovely place? And then I said, in my imagination, yes. Technology as it exists today can only go so far. I mean, if you look at a circuit board, the little strips of copper get smaller and smaller and technology gets faster and faster. Well, that copper can only get so thin. An atom is about as thin as it can get. It can't get any thinner than that. So once the circuit board has got to the point where the copper strips in there are an atom in width, it can't actually get any thinner, which means the technology can't grow anymore. So we need something new to replace the technology. That could be optics, that could be electrochemical, like the brain. Our brains are kind of electrochemical. Our memories are stored in chemicals, basically, accessed by neurons. People that have a photographic memory would have more neurons to connect to those chemicals in the brain, giving them instant access to this information, whereas people without a photographic memory would need to fight its own self to gather the information that it needs. You know, a smell, a sensation, a name, a face, anything that can bring forth those memories that we had that are now lost within those chemicals in the brain. Man, I'm doing lots of this today. And technology can only go so far. Okay, technology today in terms of graphics, which is, as I understand it, is what you deal with in your daily life, in your daily working life. You deal with graphics. Graphics can only be so real, and technology now takes a certain amount of time to deal with that, and in 5 years' time the technology that we have now will be at least 10 times quicker than it is now. So there will become a point where technology will create that realism instantly. It means render time, you might click, you know, Command R on your keyboard and bam, it's done. There's no render time. Because it's just bam, there it is. So yeah, I mean, there will be a point in our future where that happens. When in our future will that happen? I don't know. It could be in 10, it could be in 20 years. It may never happen. But I like to think that it will, because technology is moving exponentially, which means that, you know, it doesn't just double every year. Every year it gets quicker and quicker and quicker. If it doubled every year, then it would progress from here in a straight line all the way. But exponential growth means that, you know, it curves upwards dramatically. Man, I asked a question yesterday: how drunk does someone have to be to know everything? And I think I'm past that point already. I'm not drunk, really. Had a few beers, maybe. The future of technology. Future of graphics, as you work with it, can only get quicker, because the graphics that you work with will never change, because we're at a simple point now where graphics have reached a pinnacle. Graphics can't really get any more realistic. I mean, what was it? Final Fantasy Spirits Within, a movie that came out about 10 years ago, to me still beats a lot of the stuff that's out today. I mean, Avatar is not that far in terms of progression of graphics than the Final Fantasy movie was. Whenever that was released. I now feel compelled to go find out when that was released. So, excuse me while I endeavour to find out when that happened. Let me just go to the Internet Movie Database, because the Internet Movie Database is is everything. Really. 2001, 9 years ago, nearly 10 years ago, depending on the actual month it was born, if you want to get that accurate. August 2001, so let's just say 9 years. I mean, I watched that now, and the technology in graphics was far beyond anything at the time. Still is, because I still love it. Technically, not just I love the film. I actually do like the film, but technically, it was better than anything else at the time. Beowulf came out a few years ago, and I still think Final Fantasy, technically, in graphics and everything, is better than Beowulf. But that's just me. So, I don't know. There will become a point where the graphics and the technology just kind of, you know, I can't think of anything impressive to say right now. I need to use the toilet.